Hey guys, and welcome to this announcement video to the third iteration of the Invitational, the Invitational 3 or short TI3, which is a tournament that I host more or less once a year. The last time it was 8 players and this time it will feature 12 players, which I'm very happy about to get some more players on board. There will again be a prize pool of 50 euros sponsored by myself. 30 euros will be going to the winner, 15 euros to the second place and 5 euros to the third place. For the rules, it will be also more or less the same as we had before. There will be some additional victory conditions enabled and stuff, which I can tell you if you ask me. I can tell you if you want, but in general the victory conditions are of course annihilation, control area and take and hold victory, as is more or less standard. Yes, this is the victory conditions and stuff. Faction wise, we have some global bans, we have some individual bans, and it's more or less similar as we had before, that the players picked up faction in advance, so their map, their matchup will be set in stone more or less before the games, and then they have to adjust their build orders and playstyle depending on the map and depending on the enemy faction, of course. So this is to unlike in the UGL where you pick the factions for each match anew, this time here it's that you need to think a bit more beforehand what kind of strategies you want to use, how you can adjust during a match and stuff. So that's more of the style I like to see and to show. So this is why. And we do have some global bans this time, however, to make the individual bans a little more strategic. But yeah, we come to this later on. For now, you can see here the bracket of the tournament. It's pretty big because we have so much players. And you see here that we have a little group stage. Before there will be a single elimination bracket. We have 12 players, so there will be 3 players in each group. So we have 4 groups, Group A to Group D. In the group stage there will be more or less, I think it's called round robin, where everyone plays everyone and everyone plays everyone twice, because I want to have it fair. So the player 1 chooses a map and player 2 chooses a map, and then they play on each map once, and then there's a score. Everybody plays everybody, so there will be 6 matches in each group, giving us a score. For the first player gets the most score will be the first, and the second most the second, of course, and the third one will the third. The third player in each group will be eliminated in the group stage, and the first 2 will be set to the quarterfinals. You see here that always the first place, the second and stuff like that. It's also more or less normal. In case of a tie, I will see if there's let's say the first thing that would be a tiebreaker if these players have played each other and one twice against the other or stuff like that. I will see that. And if it's all same, like everybody won against everyone once, I will go by match length. So basically a shorter win and a longer defeat is better than a slower win and a shorter defeat, something like that. So there will be no tiebreaker matches. I will find other solutions to make the tiebreaker over here. Yeah, so then it goes to the quarterfinals, which is a best of 3. The first map is set by myself, the organizer, and then the 2 other maps are chosen by the user. The map pool I have not here. I should add it here. I will do it. There's more or less standard maps, like Blood River, Fata Morgana, Tranquilities, but I also Crest Triumphs, Sugar Oasis, Shrine of Excellion, Emerald River, and maybe 1 or 2 that I also forget. So they are more or less standard, but also some not so standard maps mixed in. So we have the quarterfinals, best of 3, and the semifinals then will be a best of 5. And yeah, the match for the third place will also be a best of 5, because yeah, it also goes it also is a match for 5 euros, so might as well make it a best of 5. And the finals then will be a best of 7. Over here you see the players. I'm happy to announce the players over here. These are not set in player 1 to 12 as here. I will do the seeding live later in the video. We have Vasya Okran, who played in the second Invitational, the last Invitational as well, and got 3rd place. Then we have Aveserth, sorry if I mispronounce the name, which I haven't seen a whole lot yet. Then we have Ewan Kenobi, who has been taking part of the UGL Season 2. Playing very well, especially Grey Knights and stuff. Then we have Grimhammer, which I haven't seen. Grindon, I haven't seen in a tournament setting before, but I have seen games of him, and I also played him. He's very strong. We have HMD, which also took part in UGL Season 2. Kubini also in this UGL Season 2, playing very well over there. Then we have Mella, who played in this the UGL 1 and 2, I think, yeah. Then we have Mr. Pluto doing very well in the UGL Season 2 here, and is also now here, which I'm very happy about it. Number doesn't the champion of the previous 2 Invitationals and also the champion of the UGL Season 1. I will not spoil any stuff for the UGL Season 2 because the coverage of the UGL is more or less parallel to this. Then I play because we needed another player, and Yao Shen, a friend and or teammate of Number, also here. So quite a nice assortment of players. If you go over to the picks and bans, I have them separate over here. As I said, there will be some global bans. The global bans were not decided by myself. I asked the players to send me their 5 most quote-unquote overpowered factions, or factions they do not want to play against, and the top 4 got picked over here. We have Farsight Enclaves being banned, Praetorian Guard, World Eaters, and Vostorian Forsburn. World Eaters is not very surprising, as they are currently out of order, you could say. A lot of overpowered stuff for them because their rework is pending, you could say. There will be rework at some point, which will make a lot of these things disappear and make them overall more balanced factions. So we might see them in 8.x or even later. That's depending on what the developers have in priority. So they will stay as is for quite a while, but that is okay. The player picks you have over here. We have the faction pick 1, 2, 3, faction ban 1 and 2. To explain how this works, the players always need to play their first faction unless the opponent has banned their first faction. Then they need to play their second faction, and if their opponent happened to ban their first 2 factions, they then will need to play their third faction. So this is how it is set up. And I will only go over the faction picks over here, not the bans. The bans you can see for yourself. Vasya Oaken picked Inari first, which I find interesting, then Emperor's Children and Legion of the Damned. Aveserth picks Blood Angels, Elder and Imperial Guard. So in general you see there's quite the variety in the picks, which I like. So it's not everyone picking the same faction because they think they are strong or something. So that's pretty nice. Ewan Kenobi is known for the Grey Knights, so he picks them here, but also Witch Hunters and Chaos Marines. Grimhammer picks Space Marines, Grey Knights and Harlequins. Grindon picks Tau Empire, which is I think his main faction, but also Orcs and Space Marines. I have played against the Space Marines, it's pretty solid. HMD picks Thousand Sun Salamanders and Necrons. Kubini picks Raven Guard, Tekan Shogunate and Chaos Marines. You see here, or I explain here, you saw it in the Grey Knights and also the Tekan Shogunate. For picks and bans, I split up the Demon Hunters into Inquisition and Grey Knights, but also the Renegade Guard in Tekan Shogunate and Raxian Militia. So because they are more or less 2 separate factions in my mind into one faction in the code, you could say, as you also pick them right away at the start. This makes sense, I think, to split them up. I did the same things for my guides and stuff. So yeah, as you have to decide either pick or ban one of the branches. So we have more factions to pick from, kind of. Then we have Mela picking Thousand Suns. He has played very well with Thousand Suns in the UGL, but also Tau Empire, which is I think or was his main, and then Dark Angels. Mr. Blue Dude picks Grey Knights first, which I find very interesting. There, but also Witch Hunters and Inari. Number here picking the 13th Company, which is a faction that was considered to be global banned, but not a lot of players picking it. So it seems that the adjustments in 7.3 and stuff were enough. The 13th Company is more balanced. Yet we will see. I'm really interested what Number can put up with them, but also his vanilla main Necrons, but also Witch Hunters. I myself picked Steel Legion. Who would have thought? Witch Hunters and Legion of the Damned. Necrons are picked first by Yao Shen, who is also more or less a Necron main, but also Thousand Suns and Raven Guard. So we will see once I did the seeding over here what the matchups will be. That's something I will do live here, but then everything else like updating I will update as the tournament goes on. So before we go with the seeding, the games are to be played in October and maybe will stretch over to November, of course, because there's you see quite a lot of matches. So but the general idea is to get the games done mostly in October and then start with the coverage after that. So yeah, this will be the idea. I will cast and put them up, I think, parallelly to the UGL, because UGL has still a whole lot of games to show, and I'm not fully convinced or have no idea if I do the group stage all in one, because this with 6 matches would be quite a lot. I think I will do the each in one video, so there will be quite a lot of videos heading your way as well in a competitive setting, which I really like. Okay, so now I need a drum roll here, please, because we do the seeding. And how I do the seeding? I keep these players 1 to 12 here, and I will use a function here that can order these in a random order, which I will use now. You see my German over here. Where is it? Randomly. And there we have it. This is now our seeding done live. So the first player over here will be Yao Shen. We will do this now live. You can also, or maybe I cut this out so you see this in the end. So I will cut this part out or speed it up or something so you can see then the final players, and then we will see what factions they will actually play against each other. So yeah, we do a little speed up here if I know how to do it in post. Okay, and here are the final selection of the groups. Group A will feature Yao, Shen, myself and Grindan, which will be quite a killer group for me. So I think Grindan is the favorite here to take the first place, and I have to battle it out against Yao Shen to play the second place. I'm not sure how well this will go. The Group B, we have Wasya Okrin, A1 Kenobi and HMD, which I think Wasya Okrin is the favorite here, and then the second place will be fought over. I think A1 Kenobi will take it over here, but not sure. Group C is also quite the hard group. Yeah, Grim Hammer having hard time because Mr. Bluetooth and Number are both the more or less the strongest people we have around right now. So these are the favorites. Let's see who of both of these will be a second or third, a first place, or if Grim Hammer can make a little showing here and removing one of these players from the tournament. And the last group will be Mela, Everthurs and Kubini. Kubini in my mind is the favorite here, although I haven't seen Everthurs at all or a whole lot, so depending on how well he plays, depending on Mela or Everthurs. This is my predictions over here, but now we quickly also look through the matchup, so we have an idea what we were playing, or at least I will show you once the process, and then I will do another little speed up. So we look at Yao Shen over here. Yao Shen has picked Necrons first, and I do not have Necrons banned, so he can his first faction Necrons. Similarly, look now for me, I have picked Steel Legion, and Yao Shen has not banned Steel Legion, so I will play Steel Legion against him. So this I will do now for all the matchups here, and then you will see the final matchups, and I will quickly tell you them, and then this will be the video over here. Okay, here we see now the matchups. There were 2 instances where the players need to play the second pick, but most players can pick their first faction, or can play their first factions. In the first group we have Yaoshen playing Necrons, I myself playing Steel Legion, and Grindan playing Tau Empire, so these are the matchups for this group. In the second group we have the first instance of a player need to switch. Vaseoken can pick Inari both times, and HMD can use his Thousand Suns, but A1 Kenobi can only play his Grey Knights against Vaseoken because HMD banned the Grey Knights, so A1 Kenobi in his matchup needs to play the Witch Hunters. Similar in Group C, you have Grimhammer playing Space Marines and Mr. Voodoo playing Grey Knights, but his first pick was 13th Company, but Grimhammer banned the 13th Company, so he then needs to play his second faction, which is the Necrons. In Group D, everybody can play their first picks: Mela, Thousand Suns, Everthurst, the Blood Angels, and Kubini, the Raven Guard. So this will be the matchups in the group stage. So I'm really interested to see how they all pan out in the end. So yeah, stay tuned for more. For more videos about it, which will be the first matches in the groups here. But yeah, not this week nor the next weeks. This will take some time to play and then some time to record, but yeah, stay tuned. The first videos for this will be coming of course this year, maybe end of October or starting in November. Yeah, as usual guys, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.